from a short tie, which only a cowbell or a John A bracket can be used, to now where we can actually add in a vertical strong back, 2 2x4s vertically, and extending this tie longer so we will have space enough for the tie to come through and a hairpin or a Ami wedge to be connected at the end. Thus like this. I'll remove the John A bracket and add the extenders on them. And the snap tie extenders are, again, out on a job site, common terminology would be a chicken feet. An 8 duplex works very well for this. Now, applying my vertical strong backs. And the Ami wedge or the hairpin. And now I have a strong back, where it used to be a John A or a cowbell. By adding a chicken feet on a snap tie extender, give me an opportunity to go with a strong back. Another type of hardware is a corner lock, John A corner lock. These are commonly used to create, when you got two walls that are coming together, the back side. To eliminate the use of extra material, a corner lock is put on. As you can see how this one is applied. Nailed on to the horizontal whaler and to the opposite side of the wall to the other horizontal whaler. Pushing in the locking mechanism locks the corner together. As if it's applied, thus nailing into the nail insert. Once that's nailed in, the corner lock is just basically pushed over, snugging the whalers, pulling them too tight to each other, locking them in. What this creates is an opportunity to eliminate what normally we use is a log cabinet, extra material. A 2x will be applied on top, extending out. And a 2x nailing up as a lacing tool to lock in and nail against that. So these horizontal 2x4s will have pressure up against here, nailed to this. It will hold these in place. But the corner lock eliminates all this excessive necessary 2x4s to use for a log cabinet when all that's necessary is a corner lock, saving us material and time. So once again, the hardware that was just used and discussed was used mainly on a single whaler John A wall. We had our hairpins, commonly used on a job site, our wedge anchors, our Ami wedges. We had a turnbuckle that we used for pushing and pulling, aligning the walls up. We had our corner locks to eliminate added cost of material with the a lacing and a log cabinet on the outside of that corner. And we also have our John A bracket, or our cowbell, most commonly used. And we showed how an extender, the chicken leg or the chicken feet, was to be added on to a tie to extend it so we can get a longer tie to incorporate a strong back vertical studs, which it helps align the form tied onto the snap tie. Well, the hardware you just seen that we use on a single whaler wall is typical on a double whaler wall, but some aren't necessary and some can't be used. Our John A bracket or our cowbell. As you notice, this one here works on a single whaler, as you can see right here, where the whaler is attached to the plywood. But on our double whaler wall, the tie, being short to work with the cowbell, cannot be used because the tie extends further, as if it had a chicken foot on it. But these ties are made to be extra longer without the need of a chicken foot. But as you can notice, these are vertical studs. This here wall was made as a panel, has a top and a bottom plate. Having 2x4s can be spaced whatever the engineer desires. In this case, 16 inches on center. With that spacing, the panel was built and the plywood is vertically straight, plumb. Now, to make that wall strong, the only application of hardware that can be used with our ties is our Army wedge or our hairpin. And by the way, there is other names out in the field. You'll probably need to learn those out in the field. Can't be mentioned here. Now, on the double whaler, we need something to hold this whalers in place. On this wall, the horizontal 2x4s acts upon pressure up against the vertical studs in the panel. The tie extends through with a Army wedge anchor or a hairpin. In order to have these 2x4s stationary on a wall that can be tied onto the wall and kept in place on the wall as the panel is moved from one place to another after it's been poured and taken apart, what is used that we haven't discussed yet are the fingers. The fingers, basically, as you can see here in this application, are here with the little, that little hook area in there, butts up against the 2x4, keeping an area for a 2x4 horizontal whaler to be attached and be held in proper place. A wedge anchor is thus incorporated with that, coming through the fingers or the whaler bracket, most commonly used name, and fingers. And in some cases has a little attachment to hold the whaler bracket in, but if that attachment is gone, like in this case, a nail can be put through and that tie